Hey, so I've been wanting to make a video about Cardano, um, and Cardano NFTs, and so just want to break down kind of my thoughts and a few little tips and stuff that I've learned along the way of buying, selling, and enjoying collecting NFTs, and also just Cardano as a whole. What is it? What is an alternative coin? Why is it created? Many people I think still don't know, but these entities have a significant part to play in the future, and it's important, I think, that everybody start learning about them because the potential upside is a humongous one. So I'm going to talk about what is Cardano? And the best way I can describe it is that it's this organization that's designed. My cat's bugging me here. Hey buddy. So come here. Here he is. Here's an NFT, non-fungible, which means non-replaceable. Look at him. Such a badass. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Right. He's a good boy. So Cardano is an organization designed to create a fair global economic system. He's mad. For equality, where people can send and receive money easily without a middleman, without like a bank, um, creating challenges and extra charges just to handle the money, just to kind of keep things safe. So, for that safety, you're paying a lot of extra money and you're having to jump through a lot of hoops, which, if the safety can be contained within code, within the software, right, which was not possible in the future, but with this Web3 development, um, it is possible. For those of you who don't know, um, Web3 is basically like the next step of internet security, right? So there was Web2 is basically your .coms, your internet. Web3 is the next phase. It's like the .ios and stuff like that. It's different, and there's an added security layer that is written by code. I'm no expert in this, but I know that it's a lot more secure, a lot less, a lot more easy to prove things. Like if you have a document, your document can be proven to be a legitimate document rather than just like, there's that joke where like, oh, why would I buy a picture for like $1 million when I could just right click and save it? So that's a really funny joke. But some people take that seriously. Um, the authentic image is connected to a code, or I think it's called a hash, where in the server or in the what they call it, the blockchain, which if you'd like to visualize it, like is like a chain of blocks, like imagine houses, where your asset would live in one of those blocks under a secure code, which is very difficult, if not impossible, to break in. At least, they test these things rigorously. So, I digress. Basically, what can you do with, let's say, a fully developed Cardano? Even not fully developed, it's still not at its highest potential right now, and you can still do these things, and they're being done. You can send money to poor countries. You can loan money to people that need it, basically, or just send it. You can send money to war-torn countries. You can send money to friends across the globe without any like hassle, just quick, easy, with a small tiny fee versus going through a bank, which is this huge pain from what I've heard. Um, so some examples of this would be like, personally with me, I'm Armenian, and in the last year there was this huge war that was happening in Armenia, and Armenia needed funds because Azerbaijan, the country that was being funded by Turkey, um, was attacking, and basically there was a dispute of land, similar to kind of Russia and Ukraine right now. There was this dispute of land, and and Azerbaijan was basically just attacking Armenians and taking land with the help of Turkey's military. Armenia is very small, very underdeveloped when it comes to military and things like that. They just didn't have the power, right? They needed extra help. And all the money that so many Armenians wanted to send in aid got eaten up by corrupt entities, you know? There was so much corruption. I don't even know if like 5% of that money was really sent to where it needed to go. And that hurts, you know? Imagine being like a huge patriot, wanting to help your country, sending all this money, and then it not being used to help. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the people that need the help, the people that are dying on the front lines that could have gotten some bullets or something that they needed to protect themselves. They received like used bullets and shit, because some corrupt, a-hole wanted to make a profit. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. Being able to send directly to someone in need. If they have the wallet, you have the wallet. It's like, here you go. Here's the aid you need. It's amazing. So, um, why did I choose Cardano? There's so many different altcoins. There's a couple reasons. I'm focused mainly on Cardano, and they're personal reasons. So, uh, one of them is I love the details in the project. I love what it stands for, the vision behind the project, and and it's kind of what I've been explaining right now. Um, I love the way the CEO himself speaks and articulates the project and explains things each step of the way. He just has this really great presence about him. I think it's really important to like the CEO of a company that you are following, because he's basically, the head, the head guy, the commander in chief. So if he's someone that kind of looks shady, acts shady, doesn't talk, is hiding behind a screen or something, I don't trust that. Um, it solves issues other alternative coins have not solved or have created, that they're just not as efficient. So I really love that about Cardano. The price of entry is super low. So, you can purchase right now. It's in this bear market, it is um it's like 50 cents. So you can buy, you know, a coin for 50 cents, which is amazing. Um, at its highest point, it was like about $3, I think. So still, it never like, it hasn't, blown up. So there's this, on the next point that I want to make is there's this huge investment opportunity where if it does blow up, which, everybody that invests, of course, hopes it does, there's this opportunity to make a lot of money, which is great. You can stake your money for practically nothing and just earn passive income every like 5 days, every epoch as they call it. So you just stake it in your wallet. It's like the simplest thing to do in the world. You can learn off YouTube, and off the top of my head, if you have like 1,000 coins, um, you can make like one coin, I think, one ADA. Yeah, 1,000 ADAs, about, it's my guess. If you stake it with a stake pool, you'll make about one ADA every 5 days. One free ADA, hey, it's free money, so it's pretty awesome. Um, what else? So the passive income, price of entry, investment opportunity. I think I went through everything. Let's jump into NFTs. So NFTs. um, NFTs are a file, any file. Usually it's an image or a GIF that gives uh, access or a stake in the company or project. So usually it has a team of developers. Some are like a great team, and some are just like a beginner team that don't know really what they're doing, and they're just doing their best to create a project. Um, all sorts of things like that, and um, it's a community-driven kind of opportunity project. The the images themselves or the GIF or whatever the file is. Usually they come in like a quantity, and the artist or however it's generated, usually there's like simple ones to more ones different as attributes to each character. So let's say like you have SpongeBob looking characters. um there will be like some will have rainbows, some will have different kind of eyes, so there'll be variations. And then there'll be some rare variations, which, if the project's doing well, that rare variation, kind of like collecting cards, can be sold for a lot more if you get lucky and you draw the rare variation. So there's all this type of kind of gamification. Some are made for games, some are made for utility, so they can be utilized in interesting ways. Because when you purchase the NFT, and you purchase with like a price that the company um, decides is worth, right? They say like, okay, you can purchase one at 40 ADA, and when the day comes, depend if you're lucky and there's not too much interest in the project, you get one, because sometimes these things are pretty hectic, trying to get one on the first day, especially in a good project, um, or an anticipated project with really nice art and proposed really good team. So you send the ADA, you send it to their wallet, they send it you a random one, like a randomly generated NFT, and you hope you get a good one, and then you can hold that in your wallet, and that's like a ticket, basically a stake in that company, which they can decide like what it allows. Some projects will give you access to their website, which has tools that you can use. Some projects will send merchandise and things like that to their holders, free art, from other projects. So there's lots of really cool things you can do as a holder of that NFT in a good project. Like Gary Vee does this a lot. He has his V friends, and whoever holds his V friends, they get access to certain like awesome things he does. And people who like him, they want access to him and his business and cool things that he does. They want to have that VIP pass, so they purchase his NFT. Um, so yeah, it's very community driven. The assets are the NFTs are non-fungible, which means they're non-replaceable, and you can prove that with the software, the code. Um, you can resell them for profit if the project does well. Most of the time, it's hard to do that unless the project is really doing well. So most projects will tend to fall, and then some really good projects that shine, their floor rises. Of course, the community always wants their project to do well so that they can make a profit and they can feel like made a good investment. Some negatives I've noticed myself is it is very addictive, um, and it's a little bit like gambling, because you're paying to get a random generated asset, and um, the chances are you're not going to get one of the good ones, and chances are that the company's not going to do super well in the long run, because unless it's a top-notch company and team, especially in this market. uh, Good projects are very difficult to spot. The community is, although there's a lot of talk about community, it's missing depth. I feel like, through Discord you can't really get a community, in my personal opinion. Other people disagree. That's cool. I just don't find that depth of communication. I like to talk on the phone, see someone face to face, video chat. Those kind of things give me a lot more sense of who I'm speaking to, their tone, their vibe. Um, the more in person, the better I feel, the more trust I feel within, you know, a person, or a company or something. So that's how I kind of make my judgments a lot of times. So I don't, I kind of, I feel like the community thing needs a lot of work. Um, Another negative thing for me, it's a small thing, but I feel like there's a lot of low consciousness behavior within the communities, um, and that's understandable. I'm not hating on it, but a lot of the things that I'm looking for, you know, even something as small as like you're getting into a project and you want the art to kind of be attractive to you, you know. And a lot of these projects, the characters are drawn to be like super stoned, like smoking two blunts and like looking ridiculous. And if that's not your vibe, which it's not mine, yes, Mojo, cat's meowing at me. What do you want? Then you're just, it doesn't resonate. You're not into it. I'm looking for, the Zen looking character that's like, hey, that has expanded consciousness or something like that I'm more into, spiritual aspect of life. Um, so yeah, something there. Few tips I would give for people who are getting into NFTs, buying, selling, holding, things like that. Um, and again, take these with a grain of salt, but just something that I'm trying to do because I noticed that I'm losing more money than gaining um, if I don't follow this rule of thumb most of the time. And it's don't buy at launch. The projects have a lot of hype at launch. There's this like over eagerness within the community. This is gonna be the next big thing. Yeah, we're the best. And yes, it's possible, but more often than not, it's not the case. And more often than not, the project will dip, just like stocks when they come out. They dip within the first like so many weeks, and jump in on that dip, and you're more likely to get something rare if you just keep your eyes open, and something you like. You're gonna get something random. What, Mojo? You're gonna get something random, and of course sometimes you want to do that because you want to take that chance to get like the big piece, right? The one of one. That's the addictive mindset. But if you're trying to save money, if you're trying to be careful, don't buy at mint. Just buy what you're able to after the project launches, after all the dust has settled a little bit. um, Buy it on the secondary market for a fraction of the cost. Um, Example of this, and I'm not trying to hate on the project, but it's Iconicos. Their project minted at 700 ADA, which I felt was ridiculous, but I fell for it. I thought, wow, this must be an amazing project if it's 700. And they were smart, they knew this. They're like, yeah, we're going to just be like way above everyone else. Their gate trailer was impressive as hell. Everything looked amazing, you know, but it's just, to me, it sounded too good to be true. And of course, their project floor has dipped like an insane amount. Now you can get into that project for like, I don't know, 200. I don't even know. I'm not gonna check, but way lower. So, lucky enough, I had that kind of realization after I minted it for 700, and I sold it for just like a little bit above that. Someone bought it, and I was like, whew. So, sorry, Iconicos. Don't mean to hate on you. I'm sure you guys are gonna do awesome in the future. I hope, for the people who invested. Um, yeah, do your research. Don't just jump into projects. Like it's always said, but it's so much easier to jump in without researching. So just a little bit of research. You're not gonna miss out on anything, so just wait till the floor drops, wait till the dust settles, and jump in. Jump into the pool while it's low. um, there will be there will always be good future projects. So if you miss out on something, don't make a big deal out of it. Who cares? There's going to be another better project 2 years down the line because NFT space is just growing. So as long as you learn from your experiences, you gain experience, you you learn along the way, um, you're not missing out on anything. There's going to be more and more amazing opportunities. I honestly think that NFTs are a bit overrated. They're amazing, but like holding on to the core coin, if you really believe in NFTs, like you should definitely have like 10 times more ADA than your NFTs, which I don't. I've gotten addicted, so I I want to fix that error. I think you should ideally have 10 times more ADA than the NFTs that you're purchasing. You should be very, very wise and picky with your NFT choices. Um, Unless you're rich as hell and you just don't care, but that's just me. Um, because the worst case scenario, just imagine, like, what if ADA jumps, but then all those NFTs fail? You basically just lost all that potential, thousands and thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on an image of a monkey that doesn't matter anymore, that nobody wants to buy anymore. So that's gonna sting. That's gonna sting. So hold some ADA. Definitely hold ADA. All right, that's it. I'm done. Much love. That was a long ass talk. Keep living, loving, leveling up. Seize the moment. Don't be an NFT hater.